And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Grade A Fantasy is here to go over the Week 17 preview for the running back position for the FanDuel main slate on Sunday. Once again, as advertised or spoken about in the quarterback video, remember this is by far the smallest slate. I didn't really look at next week's slate, but I'm pretty sure it might get back to normal with all the playoff matches and everything being solidified on a Sunday. So this by far is the shortest, even with the Sunday game included, it is the shortest main slate of the season. So remember, whoever you're using for projections or whether you're doing your own research, remember ownership will be a little condensed. So let's get right into it. As usual, it's always a great play. Saquon Barkley, 9,600, going against Dallas. I don't really have much to say there. It's a run defense that can't be run on. And then, of course, if they do stack the run, Saquon can break one off the screen pass, so he can just slip right through and just break what he normally does with that one long run that could seemingly break the slate. Saquon at 9,600. He's not at like 10-4, 10-5 or anything like that. So 9,600, you're looking for at least that typical 24.3 to like a 25, 26, even a 27. And he basically almost times three his value. Obviously, with a one long run and a touchdown, that automatically probably gives Saquon like a 15, 16 points right there. And then everything else is like gravy on top. Bijan has a solid matchup. Both teams will be fighting for the playoffs, so he'll be highly involved. At 8,900, so you basically save 7 off Barkley, which is a big thing. It seems like that might be the theme. Like I said, you save a significant amount from Allen going down to Jaden Daniels, so you save a significant amount going to Bijan, and then also to the third running back in pricing. Great matchup against what used to be a solid stingy run defense is now a leaky run defense. James Cook, as you heard me talk about, yes, the Kansas City Chiefs with that victory have clinched the number one seed. They will get the bye. Now it is pretty much set in stone, almost. It's not solidified yet that the Bills get the second seed, even though they do have this week and next week to get it. But what I'm saying is there is a little limited side, even though he doesn't have an injury tag. Josh Allen taking a little too many hits. If they could sew up the second seed, even though there's only one bye, then I would say Josh Allen will probably have a lighter workload. I think they give it more to James Cook. And obviously, lately, they've been having basically what seems to be a three-headed monster in the backfield. So look for James Cook to have a very high upside game, which is why, once again, I'm saying I'm taking a little less side on Josh Allen. As we keep going, one of our feature boys here, Johnathan Taylor. I don't know about him duplicating what he did, but he definitely has to be heavily involved if, once again, Indianapolis is another team fighting for a playoff spot, and it's going against one of the bottom 3 ranked rush defensive league in the New York Giants. So look for Johnathan Taylor to be a big part. I don't know if he's going to exactly duplicate what he did last week with plus 200 something yards, but I'm pretty sure he should be involved in there. Damn near getting 30 carries, 3 touchdowns, and almost touching 43 fantasy points. Now, as I go down here, if there's one piece of this game that I definitely want, is Devon A-Chain. And I'm going to tell you why. Because besides running, when he gets snowed in, bad weather, bad defense, as you can see here, some of those bad running games, 14 for 24, 7 for 14, 10 for 32. Now, obviously, the 14 for 24, he did make it up with a touchdown. But look there, Green Bay, the bad weather game. I understand people criticize Miami playing away from home, let alone in bad weather. But the Green Bay game, that was a snow game. Look what he did and made up for in runs. 9 catches, 9 targets, 8 catches, 56 yards and a touchdown, 17 points, 19 points the week before, and he got 2 receiving TDs. His passing catch volume cannot be ignored. If you're going to fade Miami, Fade them 95% of the way. This is the only person that you need because of A-Chain's dual threat capabilities. He is the only one that, if they can't produce in cold or bad weather, you gotta have A-Chain. You definitely, without a doubt, have to at least have a little bit of A-Chain in your player pool. And like I said, he has the capability to boom, but for 8,200, you'll definitely take what he's done the past couple of weeks on the ground, except for what? The game at Houston. Other than that, 31, 15.9, 17, 19.1, and if we go a little bit before that, 18.5. Before that, his last really dud game before recently, the week before, was November 11th. So you're really looking at A-Chain, 8,200, a 3x game by him. He's been sniffing 3x basically what his value score has been all the time, which would be 24 or 24.8 or something like that. And for the other cover boy on my video today, once again, I think and now he's at home. I'm looking at Bucky Irving. I think Bucky is going to redo what he did just literally 4 weeks ago. 25 carries, 152 yards, and a touchdown, and still had 3 targets, 3 catches for 33, and had 29 points. Point blank simple. There's a reason why I have those two guys as my cover sheet. One, both are the best running back matchups of the week. Two, they're both definitely on a team that's going to lean on heavy because they need to make sure they get into the playoffs, and both guys are key components to their offensive success. So Bucky Irving at 8 flat. We'll keep going down a bit. I will make a mention here. I don't want to skip him, even though they're not playing for anything, but they'll like to probably play spoiler and just beat a division opponent. But like I said, you know me, I always talk about the Bills defense. It's something that hasn't changed in over about the 7-8 going on almost a decade. Because of the high cover shell defense that they play, their run defense is a little shoddy. So Breece Hall is an option. Do not look over Breece Hall at 7-9. Definitely do not. As we keep going down, I like Aaron Jones. Definitely could run against that Green Bay front. I like him to actually stick it to his old teammate, to his old team, and it is division and playoff implication based. So both teams in the playoffs, but obviously this will be for bragging rights and seeding. Obviously, Aaron Jones at a nice 74. We'll skip down a bit. Like I said, you got to keep definitely a big eye on Tony Pollard, because whoever's toting the rock this week out of the Tennessee backfield has a great matchup against a bottom 10 run defense in the Jaguars. He still hasn't practiced as of yet, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Friday's news will definitely tell a lot. And if not, you're going to go all the way down to 5,800 and to Tajay Spears. He will definitely be the most popular running back. He'll probably even be more popular than JT and Bucky Irving by 20+%. And with less teams to pick from, I think Tajay Spears being that kind of price at 58, it's automatic. It doesn't take no computer to know that he's looking at 52, like a 52.8, maybe even touching 60% ownership. As we keep going back up, Aaron Jones, I do like the Atlanta matchup, even though the run defense has performed well. Brian Robinson is a dual threat. Brian Robinson, and then like I said, Washington is still needing to win to get into the playoffs. They're still not in yet, so him at 69 is also a nice price. Also, you can't forget, also in that game next to Bucky Irving, hey, you saved 1,200 and it's a GPP play. Take away from the ownership. He did have a decent game against Carolina. Rashad White, as you saw in that game, he went for 11 for 76. He just didn't get into the end zone. If he gets into the end zone, he's not too far from Bucky Irving, so definitely gotta like that there. Jerome Ford had a great week last week. That's definitely, in that weather, you probably want to pound and intimidate that front seven in that cold setting. So look for Jerome Ford to get all the touches for 6,600. On the Indianapolis and the Giants, it is a somewhat good run defense. It's just the case, can they open the holes for whoever's running back there? Right now, Tyrone Tracy is not practiced yet, so I mean, if he is ruled out, I mean, it's not as an exciting play as, Tajay Spears, but I have to follow the news, and all the way down at 5,200, Devin Singletary. Plus, he's a dual threat. He can catch some dump offs. Obviously, with the way Drew Lock or DeVito's been going, if they can't get it to Malik, they can just go dump it off to Devin Singletary, who is very good at catching the ball out the backfield. And then to round it all off, when it comes to mainstays, it is a good matchup. I do like Keandre Miller at home against Las Vegas 6,200. And then other mentions, I mean, either one of the Jacksonville running backs, they're both right there at the 6,000 mark. We already spoke about Tajay Spears. And guess what? Once again, we're going to go with the New Orleans defense disrespect. Obviously, since he's healthy, I definitely like Alexander Madison. GBP playing 5,700. Why show any respect to New Orleans front seven? Ever since that Thursday night game when Denver ran all over him, it's just been like a broken record. They can't stop a nosebleed. So bottom line is Alexander Madison. He's a hard runner. And like I said, the offense looked baited with Aiden O'Connell, which is why I did mention Aiden O'Connell as a pay down. And Madison does have good hands out the backfield, but it seems like now the Raiders have seemed to start using just a little bit, even though Madison still gets 7 targets. Amir Abdullah does get some targets out that backfield as well. As you see, he's also last week got 6 targets, so dump off capabilities for both. That is the running back preview show for Grade A Fantasy's Week 17 preview at the running back position. Once again, please like and subscribe, and I'll make sure to tag the description of the quarterback show in the description below. Like, subscribe. Thank you so much for your views. And, converse with me. Let me know what your top plays are. Thank you very much. This is Grade A Fantasy, signing off. Wide receivers, tight ends, and defense tomorrow during the day.